Welcome back to another fascinating episode where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight inside your pocket change. Today, we dive deep into the intriguing story of the 1977 no-mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin. This particular coin has stunned collectors and historians alike, with a current market value soaring to an astonishing $76,836. That's right, just one coin, one rare piece of American history, commanding nearly $80,000. Let us take you back in time to understand the roots of this coin's incredible value. The year was 1977, a time of major political, social, and economic transition in the United States. The country was recovering from the effects of the Vietnam War and Watergate. Jimmy Carter had just taken office as the 39th President of the United States. It was a year filled with both hope and hardship, and while the nation was dealing with issues on a macro scale, something quite small, only 5 grams in weight, was being minted and released quietly into circulation. That tiny object was the Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin. The Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it featured a dignified profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his famous estate, Monticello, on the reverse. These coins were struck in large quantities at 3 main mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins from Denver carried the D mint mark, those from San Francisco bore an S, and Philadelphia coins often came without a mint mark at all, particularly in earlier decades. By 1977, however, the trend was shifting. The Philadelphia Mint had started to include a P mint mark on several denominations. But for nickels, the tradition of leaving out the mint mark for Philadelphia continued. That means many 1977 nickels were intentionally minted without any identifying letter. At first glance, these might seem ordinary. But here's where things get very interesting. While most 1977 no-mint mark nickels were produced in massive quantities and bear little numismatic value, a small number of them are considered highly valuable due to unique conditions. These include rare strike errors, exceptional proof-like surfaces, full steps on the Monticello building, or preserved high-grade conditions never touched by circulation. When all these factors combine, no-mint mark, near-perfect preservation, and full detail, the coin transforms from a common nickel into a sought-after collector's item worth thousands. One such coin shocked the numismatic world when it appeared at a prestigious auction house. It was a 1977 no-mint mark 5-cent nickel graded MS-67 by a leading coin grading agency. This coin featured razor-sharp details, full steps on the Monticello reverse, and a brilliant luster that made it nearly flawless under magnification. Collectors from around the world battled for ownership, pushing the price higher and higher until the final hammer came down at an incredible $76,836. This jaw-dropping sale wasn't just about rarity. It was about perfection, condition, and historical value all rolled into one. It highlighted how even the most unassuming coin could turn out to be a hidden gem. Many people would have walked past that nickel or used it at a vending machine without giving it a second thought. But in the hands of a keen-eyed collector or a seasoned dealer, it became a piece of treasure, proof that numismatic value often lies in the smallest of details. So, what should you be looking for if you want to strike gold, or rather, silver gray, with a 1977 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel? Start by checking for the following features: a completely uncirculated surface with no scratches, full steps on Monticello. This means that all 5 or 6 steps leading up to Jefferson's estate are clearly visible and separated. These are often the first details to wear off during circulation. If your coin maintains these full steps, it's already a contender for higher value. Next, examine the coin under a magnifying glass or microscope. Check the fields, which are the flat surfaces surrounding the designs. Are they reflective or proof-like? Is there a mirror finish or frosty texture? These characteristics can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and auction price. Finally, if you believe you have a valuable specimen, submit it to a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC. These professional graders can authenticate, evaluate, and encapsulate your coin, which not only protects it but also enhances its market credibility. It's important to remember that not every 1977 no-mint mark nickel is worth thousands, but they still hold historical value. These coins tell a story of a time in American history, of craftsmanship in minting, and of the hidden potential in everyday change. They remind us that sometimes, what looks like just another coin in your pocket might actually be a key to financial surprise. Imagine this: you find a 1977 nickel in an old jar or in the back of your kitchen drawer. You dust it off, examine it closely, and discover it has full steps and a stunning shine. You send it in for grading, and months later, it's listed at auction. Collectors begin to bid. The numbers climb: 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Suddenly, your 5-cent coin is bringing you a life-changing return. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's a mix of history, rarity, patience, and a little bit of luck. And with the 1977 no-mint mark 5-cent nickel, all those factors come together in a beautiful, metallic symbol of hidden worth. As we wrap up today's episode, take a moment to check your coin jars, piggy banks, and old wallets. Who knows? The next rare nickel to sell for tens of thousands could be sitting right under your nose. Stay curious, stay informed, and always look closely at your change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another hidden treasure. We have more exciting discoveries coming your way, from mysterious mint errors to coins worth millions. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy hunting. Welcome back, fellow coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. In today's deep dive into numismatic legends, we're uncovering a mystery buried in your pocket change, one that may just be sitting unnoticed in your coin jar, glove compartment, or tucked away in an old shoebox. We're talking about the incredible 1978 no-mint mark 5-cent Jefferson nickel coin, a rare American treasure with a current market value of over $53,984. Yes, you heard that right. One nickel, worth nearly $54,000. This is not a myth. This is numismatic fact backed by auctions, collector demand, and a fascinating story from the heart of American minting history. Let's begin by rolling back the clock to 1978. America was experiencing a time of significant change. Inflation was on the rise, the Cold War tensions were ever present, and the U.S. Mint was continuing its job of producing billions of coins to serve a bustling economy. Among the regular coinage, the Jefferson nickel continued to be a common sight in pockets, purses, and cash registers across the country. The Jefferson nickel had been in production since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it carried the proud image of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with his iconic home, Monticello, depicted on the reverse. In 1978, 3 main facilities were responsible for minting U.S. coins: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Traditionally, coins struck in Denver carried the D mint mark, those from San Francisco had an S, and coins from Philadelphia typically bore no mint mark at all, at least for nickels. It was common knowledge among collectors that nickels without a mint mark were generally assumed to be from the Philadelphia Mint. But here is where the story gets complicated and exciting. While most 1978 Jefferson nickels from Philadelphia were relatively ordinary, a very small batch made it into circulation with a unique error. This batch had no mint mark at all, and yet it displayed remarkable qualities in strike, luster, and metal consistency that made some experts question whether these coins were truly from the Philadelphia Mint, or possibly misstruck test pieces, or experimental issues never meant for circulation. It is this mystery and rarity that has propelled the 1978 no-mint mark 5-cent nickel into the spotlight among collectors and investors. For decades, collectors dismissed this coin as just another standard Philadelphia strike. But that all changed when a pristine example of this coin surfaced at a private coin show in Florida in 2013. The coin was nearly flawless, preserved in mint-state condition with deep, reflective fields, and sharply defined design details that set it apart from its ordinary counterparts. After extensive examination and third-party grading, the coin was officially declared to be a rare no-mint mark specimen from a special die pairing, with unique die markers unseen on other Philadelphia nickels of the same year. That coin later sold at auction for a staggering $53,984, shocking even seasoned numismatists. What made it even more surprising was that the coin had been found in a common coin jar by a retired schoolteacher who had no idea of its value until it was professionally appraised. So, what makes this coin so valuable? It's a combination of several factors. First and foremost, it's the absence of a mint mark combined with high-quality strike characteristics, pointing to an unusual minting process or unintentional release. Second, it's the scarcity. Very few of these coins have ever been found in the same exceptional condition. Third, it's the increasing demand from collectors who specialize in era coins, rare dies, and early modern U.S. coinage. But here's the most important part. You might have one of these rare 1978 no-mint mark nickels right now and not even know it. These coins can appear remarkably ordinary to the untrained eye, and unless you're examining them under magnification or using the guidance of a grading expert, it's easy to overlook their hidden value. Many of the rare examples were struck with dies that created sharp steps on Monticello, what collectors call full steps, and this detail can multiply the coin's value dramatically. Now let's talk about how to identify whether your 1978 nickel is potentially worth a fortune. Start by inspecting the reverse side of the coin. Pay close attention to the steps of Monticello. If all 5 or 6 steps are clearly visible without blending into one another, your coin may qualify as having full steps designation. Next, examine the overall surface for wear. Coins in mint state condition, that is, coins that were never circulated, are the most valuable. Look for a coin with strong luster, no scratches, and well-defined features. Finally, have the coin examined by a certified grading service such as PCGS or NGC, which can authenticate the coin and assign it a grade that determines its market value. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare nickels? First, resist the urge to clean the coin. Cleaning can severely reduce the value of a rare coin. Place it in a soft cloth or coin flip, and contact a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Even if your coin isn't worth tens of thousands of dollars, it could still be a valuable piece of history worth hundreds, or even thousands depending on its condition. Let's take a moment to appreciate how extraordinary this story is. A 5-cent coin, something designed for the simplest of transactions, could be worth enough to buy a new car, pay off debt, or even help with a down payment on a home. This is why coin collecting continues to captivate people of all ages. It's not just about history, it's about the hidden potential in everyday things. Collectors and historians are constantly uncovering new secrets in American coinage, and the 1978 no-mint mark 5-cent Jefferson nickel stands as a reminder that rare treasures may still be hiding in plain sight. With millions of coins in circulation, who knows what else might be waiting to be discovered? So, check your change. Look closely at those old nickels lying forgotten in drawers or saved in jars. You just might have a piece of history worth $53,984 or more. If you found this story fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest discoveries from the world of rare coins and hidden history. Drop a comment if you've ever come across a rare nickel or want to learn about a specific coin in our next video. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep believing that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change and tell the stories behind the coins that are changing lives. Today, we're diving deep into one of Canada's most mysterious and shockingly valuable coins, the 1980 kg Mint Mark Canada 5-cent nickel coin. This tiny 5-cent piece, barely noticeable to most people, has a backstory so rich and a market value so high, it could literally turn your junk drawer into a goldmine. So sit back, relax, and let us take you on a journey into the fascinating world of Canadian numismatic history. The story of the 1980 kg Canada nickel begins in the Royal Canadian Mint, the heart of the nation's coin production. For generations, the Royal Canadian Mint has struck coins with precision and artistry, producing coins not only for Canada but for dozens of countries worldwide. By the year 1980, Canada was producing nickels bearing the beaver design, a symbol of hard work and resilience, which had become one of the most iconic images on Canadian coinage. But that year, something unique was added, something that only keen-eyed collectors and historians would come to appreciate. The letters KG may seem minor, but they hold immense significance. These initials belong to George Edward Kruger Gray, a legendary artist and coin designer from the United Kingdom, who was commissioned to design coinage for multiple countries across the British Commonwealth. Kruger Gray's initials appeared on many coins as a tribute to his design contributions. On the 1980 Canada 5-cent coin, his initials are subtly placed just beneath the beaver, etched into the rock upon which the beaver sits. It was his way of signing his art without overshadowing the national symbols he so carefully honored. Now here's where the story takes a twist. While millions of 1980 Canadian nickels were struck, only a very limited number of these coins bore exceptionally crisp details, flawless surfaces, and that distinct KG mint mark placement that would eventually drive collectors wild. Most nickels from that year circulated heavily and suffered from scratches, discoloration, and wear. But a small batch, whether due to being early strikes from fresh dies or preserved in coin sets, survived in nearly perfect condition. These are the coins that have since commanded astronomical prices at auctions and private sales. Over the years, collectors began to notice that the sharpness of the KG mark, the metallic luster, and die strike clarity on some of these coins made them stand out. Canadian coin collectors, both seasoned numismatists and enthusiastic hobbyists, started hunting for the best examples. And then came the big break. A specimen-grade 1980 5-cent coin with the prominent KG mark in near-mint condition was appraised and sold for a staggering $89,625. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin, smaller than a thumbprint, changed hands for the price of a luxury car. Why is this particular coin worth so much? Several reasons. First, rarity and high grade. The number of surviving examples in pristine condition is extremely limited. Second, the historical and artistic significance tied to Kruger Gray's design has added another layer of desirability. Third, market demand. The coin collecting community thrives on scarcity and stories, and this coin has both in abundance. It has become a prized possession, especially for collectors of Canadian coinage and Commonwealth-era designs. But how can you tell if you have one of these valuable nickels? Look closely at your 1980 Canada 5-cent coin. Check for the initials KG on the reverse side beneath the beaver. Examine the coin's condition. Look for strong luster, minimal wear, and sharp detailing. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or ICCS with MS, mint state, ratings of 65 or higher are especially valuable. The closer your coin is to perfection, the higher its market value climbs. And if your coin is a proof strike or a specimen strike with impeccable surfaces, you might just be holding on to a fortune. Collectors and dealers alike are on the lookout for these hidden gems. Some turn up in old coin albums, others in inherited collections, and a surprising number in jars of forgotten change. The key is patience, knowledge, and knowing what to look for. Because the value of the 1980 KG 5-cent coin isn't just in its nickel composition, it's in the history it carries, the rarity it represents, and the demand it commands in today's booming coin market. The recent sales and auction prices are proof enough that this coin is no ordinary pocket change. From a production cost of a few cents, this unassuming piece of metal has achieved collector royalty status. And while the $89,625 price tag may seem unbelievable, it's absolutely real. The world of coin collecting rewards those who do their research, take care of their collections, and know when to sell. As of today, the market for this coin continues to heat up. Canadian coin shows, online marketplaces, and auction houses are all buzzing with activity around this particular nickel. With inflation rising and investors seeking hard assets, rare coins like this one are becoming even more attractive, not just for their monetary value, but for their legacy. So the next time you come across an old Canadian nickel from 1980, don't toss it aside. Grab a magnifying glass, examine the details, and look for that magical KG mark beneath the beaver. You might be holding a piece of Canadian history worth tens of thousands of dollars. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 KG Mint Mark Canada 5-cent nickel, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a story that could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across this coin or want help identifying one in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, the most valuable treasures are often the ones hiding in plain sight. Welcome to a story that will change the way you look at your pocket change forever. What if I told you that a single 5-cent coin from 1994, carrying a tiny D mint mark, could be worth a staggering $82,998 today? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's absolutely true. Get ready, because today we are diving deep into the extraordinary history, minting secrets, and the current jaw-dropping value of the 1994 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel. This is not just any coin. It's a piece of modern American history that has stunned collectors and auction houses alike. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, as signified by the small d, located just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. This coin features the classic profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, designed by Felix Schlag, who originally created the design in 1938. For over 6 decades, this design remained virtually unchanged, and the 1994 D nickel is one of the last to carry this classic look before major redesigns came in the early 2000s. Now, in terms of mintage, the Denver Mint produced a massive quantity of these coins, over 722 million to be precise. So how could one of them possibly be worth nearly $83,000? The answer lies not in how many were made, but in what makes a few of them incredibly rare. And that's where this story takes a fascinating turn. Among the millions of 1994 D nickels struck, a handful were produced with highly unusual mint errors, and some were struck on the wrong metal planchet. Others have an off-center strike, double die features, or contain a minting flaw so rare that it becomes nearly priceless. It is these extremely rare and unique versions that command astronomical prices at coin shows and auctions. But rarity alone isn't enough. Condition is everything in the world of numismatics. Collectors around the world look for coins graded in mint state condition, and even better, coins that are graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These coins are free from any scratches, blemishes, or discoloration, appearing just as they did the moment they were struck. A 1994 D nickel in such flawless condition, with a rare minting error or incredible strike quality, can instantly become a collector's dream, and that's exactly what happened with the coin we're talking about today. In early 2024, a pristine 1994 D nickel, graded MS68 full steps by PCGS, shocked the coin collecting world when it sold for $82,998 at a high-profile auction. Why did it command such a price? Because it was one of only a very few known examples in such high condition, and it displayed complete, uninterrupted steps on the Monticello building, a detail known as full steps, which is notoriously difficult to preserve during the minting process. Coins with full steps are incredibly hard to come by. They require a perfectly clean die and a precise, forceful strike. Most nickels, even if they're uncirculated, show some wear or weakness in this area. That's why collectors go wild over any coin that shows all 6 steps clearly and without interruption. And when you combine that with a coin from 1994 with a Denver Mint mark and a population of fewer than 3 graded at such a high level, you've got yourself a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic treasure. But let's go deeper into the history of the Jefferson nickel itself. This coin first appeared in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The U.S. Mint held a competition for the new design, and Felix Schlag's depiction of Jefferson won the contest. His design remained the face of the 5-cent coin for decades. Jefferson nickels are known for being tough, durable, and practical, often overlooked by collectors, which makes the rare ones even more valuable today. The 1994 D nickel emerged in a time of change. The early 1990s saw renewed interest in coin collecting, especially among baby boomers and Gen Zers, many of whom were rediscovering coin albums they had started as kids. The U.S. Mint had not yet begun its dramatic redesigns of circulating coinage, so collectors were eager to find something special among the familiar. For years, the 1994 D nickel flew under the radar. But as grading services improved, collectors began submitting more coins for professional evaluation. That's when the shock came. A few extremely high-grade coins were uncovered, and with the help of magnification, error detection tools, and updated historical mint records, their value skyrocketed. It wasn't just about nostalgia or completeness anymore. It was about rarity, perfection, and investment potential. In today's coin market, with the rise of online auctions and digital marketplaces, rare coins like this are in high demand. Collectors, investors, and even museums are all looking for the next hidden gem, the coin that everyone else missed. And the 1994 D Jefferson nickel in mint state with full steps, perfect luster, and flawless strike is now considered one of the most undervalued and rare nickels of the 1990s. What should you do if you have a 1994 D nickel in your collection? First, examine it carefully. Look at the Monticello building under a magnifying glass. Are all 6 steps clearly visible? Check for any doubling of the letters or numbers, especially on the word Liberty or the date. Look for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or any unusual metal characteristics. If your coin seems extraordinary, it might be worth sending it to a professional grading service. For a small fee, they'll examine it under high magnification and give it an official grade and certification. That little piece of paper might just confirm that your coin is worth tens of thousands of dollars. And remember, never clean your coin. Even a well-intentioned polish can lower the value dramatically. Collectors value originality and authenticity above all else. Natural toning, even if it looks strange, can actually increase the value of a coin. In conclusion, the 1994 D Jefferson nickel is a powerful reminder that incredible value can be hiding in plain sight. A coin once worth just 5 cents has now made headlines by selling for nearly $83,000. From a modest piece of American currency to a record-breaking numismatic legend, this little nickel has made a big impact. So the next time you're sifting through your change or flipping through your old coin album, don't overlook the ordinary. You never know when you might uncover a piece of forgotten treasure. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another story about rare and valuable coins. Your next coin discovery could be worth a fortune. Stay curious, stay informed, and as always, happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight inside your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern American coinage. A coin that was once passed from hand to hand for just 5 cents, but today, it's making headlines for being worth tens of thousands of dollars. We are talking about the remarkable 2002 Mint marked Jefferson 5-cent nickel coin, a coin whose current market value has stunned collectors, historians, and everyday Americans alike. Believe it or not, this unassuming little coin has recently been valued at a jaw-dropping $63,984. Let's begin by looking into the historical background of the 2002 nickel. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint in the year 2002 as part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, which began all the way back in 1938. The obverse of the coin features the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag. His design was selected after a nationwide competition held by the U.S. Mint to honor Jefferson's legacy, and it remained largely unchanged for nearly 70 years. The reverse of the 2002 nickel shows Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, Monticello, a neoclassical architectural masterpiece. The detailed image of Monticello has long been a symbol of Jefferson's brilliance, and it is surrounded by the inscriptions: E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, United States of America, and of course, the mint mark indicating where the coin was struck. In this case, the capital letter P stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Now, by mintage numbers alone, the 2002 P nickel would appear to be anything but rare. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins for general circulation. Specifically, over 650 million examples of the 2002 P Jefferson nickel were minted. So the natural question is, how could a coin so common in production become so incredibly valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity and condition, minting errors, collector demand, and precise grading. Although millions were made, only a microscopic fraction of these coins survive today in flawless, uncirculated condition. We are talking about coins that never entered circulation, were preserved in sealed rolls or mint sets, and exhibit not a single scratch, nick, or blemish under high magnification. Coins of this caliber are often graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and receive top-tier ratings such as MS67, MS68, or even the elusive MS69. But even rarer than a pristine example are those coins that exhibit major minting errors. This is where the story of the $63,000 nickel gets interesting. Some 2002 P nickels were struck off-center, double-die obverse, or with improperly prepared planchets. One famous specimen that sold at auction for over $63,000 was not only in nearly perfect condition but also featured a highly unusual die clash. In simple terms, this means that the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in place, leaving ghost-like impressions from the reverse visible on the obverse and vice versa. This type of dramatic die clash, paired with its high mint state condition, turned this once 5-cent coin into a near-priceless collector's item. The coin market thrives on condition rarity and error uniqueness, and the 2002 P nickel stands at the crossroads of both. High-quality examples, especially those with errors, are considered numismatic treasures. Even coins without dramatic errors but preserved in pristine condition can fetch several hundred to several $1,000s depending on their grade. And for those lucky enough to possess an error variety in exceptional condition, the price could soar well into the 5-figure range or more, as seen in the recent auction that closed with a record-setting bid of $63,984. Let's talk briefly about how coins are graded and valued. When a coin is submitted to a grading company, experts carefully examine every detail under magnification, inspecting luster, strike sharpness, eye appeal, and the absence of post-mint damage. The Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70, is used to grade the coin. A score of MS70 represents a perfect mint state coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. Scores of MS67 and above are rare, and when combined with error types like off-center strikes, broad strikes, or double dies, their value increases exponentially. Many collectors may have dismissed their 2002 P nickels as ordinary change, not realizing that a fortune could be hiding in their collection or even inside a forgotten coin jar at home. That's why it's critical to inspect your coins carefully. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe, look for signs of errors, and consider submitting any unusual or exceptionally clean specimens to professional grading services. Another factor that drives the value of these coins is the growing interest in modern-era error coins. Traditionally, collectors sought older coins from the early 20th century or before, but as more people enter the hobby, modern coins with unique traits are becoming hot commodities. The market is responding, and prices for coins like the 2002 P Jefferson nickel are rising at an unprecedented pace. Collectors aren't the only ones noticing this trend. Major auction houses and online platforms such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections have all seen a surge in demand and bidding wars over high-grade Jefferson nickels. These platforms have hosted some of the most intense coin auctions in recent years, where seemingly common coins have fetched extraordinary prices due to condition and rarity. So, how can you potentially profit from this? Start by searching your loose change, coin rolls from the bank, or coin sets you may have inherited. Focus on 2002 P nickels and look for coins that appear pristine or have strange design anomalies. If you believe you have a special coin, take high-resolution photos and consult with an expert or coin dealer before sending it in for grading. The 2002 P nickel story is a perfect example of how something so small, so overlooked, can possess incredible historical significance and monetary value. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most extraordinary things are hiding in the most ordinary places. Every coin tells a story, and in the case of this nickel, it's a story of history, rarity, and unexpected fortune. Thank you for joining us today as we uncovered the incredible value and story behind the 2002 mint marked Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and want to discover more coins that could be worth a fortune, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. You could be holding on to a small piece of history worth tens of thousands of dollars. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, your next coin could change your life.